Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a love message from your person. I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have here is, I have to be strategic with you. And there is a very, very emotional energy that's coming through from this masculine. And I'm picking up on heavy heart chakra energy at this time. There's a masculine in your energy field who's having a change of heart about you, okay? It's almost like they came into this connection wanting to go with the flow, maybe wanting to move very slowly with you. This is someone who connected with you and instantly they had a plan, whether you know it or not. But I'm getting very, very quickly, something has shifted. And the way this masculine's energy is coming through, they blame you for this shift. So I don't know what transpired in the recent past between you and your person, but I'm getting very clearly you made a move that they were not prepared for. It completely caught your person off guard. And because of that, not only is your person having a change of heart, but it's almost like it's deeper than that. It literally feels like the entire energy of your connection has shifted in a major, major way. And you will definitely know that this is your message if you notice a shift in your person, okay? Because the way this energy is coming through, it's almost like their energy is not reading the same. This feels like a masculine who is repressing, or they're practicing constraint when they're in your presence. Because there's something about the word strategic here that feels very, very layered, okay? And I'm also picking up this energy of your person being a little bit guarded. So I feel like that's the shift. In the beginning of your connection or up until the recent past, this is someone that may have been a complete open book for you, Divine Feminine. Their energy may have been very, very inviting. Something about their aura could have been very open to you. But there has definitely been a huge shift, almost to the point where it feels like this masculine is sitting back and studying you, okay? They're engaging you in a very distant way or in a very withdrawn type of way. Even if you're still connected, even if you still speak to this masculine, their underlying intentions have absolutely shifted. So this may be a very interesting time in your connection, because while you may be opening up your energy and approaching it in a completely different way, your person is approaching your connection from a place of strategy. And again, the way their energy is coming through, they're blaming you for this, Divine Feminine. So if you notice your person being very observant of you at this time, asking you a lot of probing questions, it's almost like they're trying to gather information, or they're really, really trying to get into your mind to see where your head is at. Because for some reason, they're under the impression that you've done something or you're doing something that's causing them to completely shift the way that they engage you. From being very open to being very direct to approaching you with a strategy, or just being very, very calculated, okay? Let's get the next message here. Wow. The next message that we have is, you're not the same person I met. Wow. This is very, very specific energy. And I'm getting the word physical very, very clearly. So you're currently throwing your person off or completely catching them off guard because of your physical connection in some way. So I feel like this is tapping into the underlying energy of your connection. I feel like this is a connection that either started off very, very fast paced. This is someone that you may have been very, very physical with. There could be a lot of sexual chemistry, a lot of physical chemistry. because there's something about this energy that is sticking out to your person. It's almost like they woke up and they have a completely different view of you because of something that just transpired in your connection. Which is very, very interesting because when it comes to the physical chemistry in a connection, this is a place where the masculine really, really focuses in on. And in a typical connection, the way that it breaks down, this is usually where the divine feminine energy shifts. The more access that you give your person physically, the more that your energy kind of opens. And I'm getting that you did not do that, divine feminine. This is why your person is looking at you differently, or this is why their feelings are shifting for you and they're blaming you for this energetic shift. You're not performing in a way that a typical feminine energy would perform in a connection with them. And I feel like there's something that's happening with the stage that you're currently in. I feel like you and this masculine are in a stage where the masks have completely come off. There's no more representative. And you can see fully who this masculine is. But their issue is that they cannot fully see who you are. Okay? So you have definitely changed up the pace in some way. Maybe there was lots of sexual chemistry, maybe a lot of physicality in this connection. So there is something that you did in the recent past that has completely shifted the way that your person views you. And it feels like this is tapping into the pace of your connection. This is definitely someone who is very, very drawn to you, physically, emotionally, sexually. But they've been noticing lately that you're not matching their energy the way that you once were. And it's almost like it has them in this mode where they want to understand why. This is someone that takes their level of access to you very, very seriously, whether you know it or not, divine feminine. And I feel like the physical aspect of your connection is something that is very, very important to this masculine, whether they've ever verbalized that to you or not, okay? So this could be tapping into their love language. Maybe this is someone that loves physical touch. This can get very, very deep. But what's coming through here clearly is that your person is in this very, very calculated, really strategic mode with you because you are not responding to them in the same way that they're used to feminine energy responding to them, specifically when it comes to the physical aspect of your connection. So even though this may be completely frustrating your person, it's almost like they're still playing you close at this time, okay? They're still in your energy, whether this is someone that you are in close proximity to or at a distance from. Almost like they are very determined to get to the bottom of this, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is you are not for the weak. If you're resonating with this message so far, in so many ways, you are letting this masculine know that they are not an exception to your rules, okay? And it is really, really pissing them off. It's also turning them on. It's also making them want you even more, okay? And I'm hearing the words challenge accepted. So this is tapping into why your person feels like they need to be strategic with you. Because whatever plan they came into this connection with you, divine feminine, I'm getting that they just cannot crack your code. And again, this is tapping into the physical aspect of your connection. So this is someone that wants to be very, very close to you. This is someone that wants to be very close to your energy. I don't know if this is someone that you have been physically intimate with yet, or you haven't reached a certain level with them, but they're realizing that you're not like everyone else. When it comes to feminine energy, the intimacy or the physical aspect of the connection is usually when the feminine breaks, okay? And we're speaking about power dynamics here. But what your masculine is realizing about you is that you are not for the weak, okay? You are not budging. There's something about your soul or something about your energy that just requires more. Even if this masculine checks off every single box for you, even if you have great chemistry, great physical chemistry, sexual chemistry. It's almost like this masculine is realizing that you require something a little bit more substantial or something a little bit more foundational or grounded. So I don't know the energy that you were giving off in the beginning, Divine Feminine. Maybe your aura was very open. Maybe you were very flirty with this masculine. Maybe you gave them some type of impression as to how this connection was going to pan out. But I'm getting that you're not budging right now. Something has completely shifted, and they're not able to operate in a connection the way that they would show up in their past connections. And it's because your energy is still intact. Usually, when there is physical chemistry between a masculine and a feminine, and then this chemistry is acted upon, the energy for the feminine goes from the more spiritual chakras to the lower chakras. Okay, it's almost like you have to come down to meet the masculine where they are. But I'm not getting that for your energy, okay? Your energy is coming through very, very solid, very secure, very poised. And it is driving this masculine crazy. Almost like something that they viewed as very easy or very trivial is not translating in this connection in the way that they thought it would. Okay? So they're absolutely blaming you for this, Divine Feminine, but honestly, this is a good thing, okay? This is the perfect way to balance out the energy or to manifest the connection at a certain level of energy. So if this is what your intentions are for this person, it's definitely working, okay? In many, many ways, you're making them raise their energy from those lower chakras up into the heart space. And I picked up on that with this first card here. So the fact that they're even responding to you in this way, you could actually be the very first person that's challenged them in this way. Because I keep getting that energy of something that they assume would be easy or something that they assume would pan out differently. It's just not going that way, okay? They realize they still have to work for a certain level of access to you that goes far beyond physicality. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have here is High Priestess. This explains exactly what your person is dealing with. This masculine will never ever admit this to you, but what they're doing spiritually is they're trying to match your energy, okay? You're coming through as the High Priestess. So you are a feminine who views every single thing through a spiritual lens. Every single aspect of your connection is sacred. But what's sticking out here to me the most about the High Priestess energy is how the High Priestess uses silence to her advantage. And you may not know what it feels like to be on the other side of a High Priestess, but it is extremely intense. And I feel like this is the part of your connection or the part of your dynamic that your person was not prepared for. Usually when a certain line is crossed, particularly from the masculine, when there is some type of physical intimacy, the power dynamic instantly changes, okay? But that didn't happen with you, Divine Feminine. You're still in possession of your power. Your energy is still very, very high. Even if you have engaged this masculine in that way. Nothing about your energy has been dampened or lowered or stifled in any type of way. This is why they woke up viewing you differently. Because in every single other connection that they've been in, they've noticed that everything flipped overnight. Where the feminine used to be very powerful, very poised, very confident, they begin to question themselves. They begin to chase. They begin to be needy, okay? The dynamic in a connection can flip instantly because we're tapping into that underlying energy here with the masculine and the feminine. But because you view life through a very, very sacred lens, you know how to hold your position, even when you're giving of yourself. You know just how much to give, you know just how much to say, and you have this powerful silence where it's almost like you don't even have to open your mouth and your person can feel your energy. They can feel when you're viewing them a certain type of way. So all of this is really happening because you have your masculine second guessing themselves. And now they're looking at you saying, this divine feminine is not for the weak. Because as a masculine, that's a huge, huge blow to their internal power. Many masculines don't know what to do without that power dynamic shifting from the feminine to the masculine. In the beginning, as the feminine, you hold all the power because you hold the level of access that the masculine gets to have with you. But each time that you give more and more access, there is an energetic shift because there's an energetic transfer. So this masculine is sitting back and trying to figure out, how the hell are you able to give of yourself in a way and not be affected energetically and still show up vibrant and powerful and holding your power? This is completely catching them off guard, but it is absolutely because you are a high priestess. So you approach relationships very, very differently. You approach sex and physical intimacy very, very differently. Everything is sacred. You know just how much to give. You know when to pull back. You know when to say yes. You know when to say no. You know how to properly disseminate your energy. And I feel like this is something that your person is not used to. They're used to feminines easily falling into that dynamic switch. So this is what your person means when they say, you're not the same person I met. They were under the impression that you were going to fall right into this category easily and effortlessly like everyone else. But they've never been with a high priestess before. So it's almost like they were in for a rude awakening. Okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is, I ignored the warning signs. And I just heard the word run. Okay? So what's so interesting about this is that this masculine, before meeting you or before initiating this connection with you, it feels like that maybe they asked someone about you and they were straight up told to run in the opposite direction. And not in a negative way, not in a bad way, simply because this person told them that you were different. But they didn't understand how, okay? Maybe they didn't even take this seriously. But they were warned that you were not like other feminine energies. And because this is someone that may be very popular with feminine energy, they're coming through as someone who gets their way. I feel like this made them want you more, divine feminine. Like they were up for a challenge when it comes to you. But there were many, many, many warning signs. And I'm getting they ignore all of them. So the energy is very, very clear in this message. This is someone who wants you bad, okay? And they're willing to sit back and study you and observe you to understand how they need to approach you, how they need to make this next step. Because dealing with someone like you, divine feminine, it's not for the weak, okay? They know that you are watching them. They know that you are sitting back and viewing them not only through a 3D lens, but through a spiritual lens. They know that every single time that they speak to you, you're decoding what it is that they're actually saying. You're picking up on the things that they're not ready or not willing to say. And whoever it was that they spoke to about you, maybe this person knew that they were not used to dealing with a high priestess. It takes a certain caliber of man to be able to handle a spiritual woman, okay? A woman who actually is walking her path. But again, there was something about you that was very, very intriguing. Maybe the fact that a lot of people don't even attempt to come up to you, divine feminine. I feel like you give off that aura where men just know that they have to be on their A game to even approach you, to be in a connection with you. But this masculine here in your energy, they were up for the challenge. This made them want you even more. This made them want to be around you in your energy even more. Because you come off as someone who is very, very exclusive. And with you carrying this high priestess energy, is like someone who carries this frequency, you don't have to say much. Okay, you can walk into a room and people will know, yeah, I'm going to stay out of her way. I'm going to stay out of this person's way because they're not for the weak. So if you're wondering why your person approached you this way, because I'm getting something about the beginning of your connection, specifically the pace. I feel like this is why they were given a lot of signs prior to approaching you, prior to initiating this connection. And I feel like they wanted to prove these people wrong, okay? I feel like they wanted to prove that this connection was going to be like any other connection, or you were going to be like any other feminine. But you're not, okay? You are completely wired different. And this is something about you that is absolutely fascinating to this masculine. But if they were to be completely honest, it is frustrating, okay? Very, very frustrating. Let's get the last message here. Wow. The last message that we have is, I can handle you. Like I was picking up previously, this masculine wants you bad, divine feminine. And this is deep. Whatever you did in the recent past, and it was something physical, okay? Maybe you said something to them. Maybe this has to do with the physical intimacy in the connection. It has to do specifically with you giving this person a specific level of access to you. Whatever you did, it challenged them as a masculine. It really made them question whether or not they have what it takes to take you seriously or to be in a serious long-term connection with you. Because now they're sitting back and they're realizing the dynamic. And that's the energy I was picking up on in the beginning of the reading. Them sitting at this place where they're realizing, wow, we've reached this place where the mask has completely come off. You've passed the beginning stages of your connection. Now you're in this in-between stage where you both could be looking at one another trying to figure out, can this be something long-term? Can this person have a more permanent place in my life? How do I need to move things around in my life to make space for this person? This is deep, okay? And this is why your person feels like they have to be strategic, because their next move is vital. And what's so eerie about this energy, divine feminine, is you. I feel like you're not saying anything. I feel like you're not assisting them in any way with this. I feel like you are completely in your high priestess energy. You are allowing them to either step up and show you that this is what they want, or show you that they're not the man for the job, okay? Either way, they know exactly who you are, okay? They know that you are not for the weak. And that is a direct hit in their ego. So I definitely feel like this masculine is about to show you how bad they want you. They're about to show you that they can handle someone like you. But again, this is a first for them. It's almost like they have to work harder in a stage in your connection where things were supposed to be very easy, or you were supposed to make things very, very easy for them by allowing them a certain level of access, by changing the way that you view them, by not showing up fully in your power, but you're holding your position. So whatever it is that you're doing, definitely keep doing this, because it's making your person come up with a plan for your lives together. This is just how the energy is coming through. This is someone that wants a serious long-term connection with you. But they know that in order to have this, they not only have to be able to handle you physically, divine feminine, they also have to be able to handle your spiritual side. Because again, you're someone who views life through a spiritual lens. Even the parts of your connection that are very physical, that are very carnal, you even view those parts as very, very sacred. And I feel like that's new for this masculine, okay? But they're definitely sitting back, they're watching you, they are plotting, they are planning. They're really, really trying to figure out how they can show you that they're serious about this connection. So your person is definitely in shock as they're meeting or unpacking this more spiritual side of you, divine feminine. But there's also a level of intrigue. You know, there's a level of yearning that this masculine feels for you. And there's also this energy of them kind of wanting to prove to you that they can also hold your power. because now they know that you're not for the weak. It's almost like they have to prove to you that they're not a weak masculine. And I feel like they're going to go to great lengths to show you that. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon to continue the reading. If you would like to join us over there, you can find the link in the description box below, as well as in that very first pinned comment. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.